Hi, you're on the Retelling Films channel, and this is a retelling of movie The Beekeeper. A secret agent of a secret organization, after retirement, becomes disillusioned with the corrupt government and sets out to bring justice, killing anyone who gets in his way. In his war against the state, he is ready to go all the way to the top, including the president himself. The movie, based on the main character's desires to kill, begins in a barn where a beehive has started. Beekeeper Adam Clay, in a protective suit, goes to remove the hive from the ceiling. He was asked by Mrs. Parker, the owner of the farm where he lives. A woman invites him to tea in the evening, after which Adam gets rid of bees in the barn with the help of a neon lamp and an electric stun gun. While the guest is working in the apiary collecting honey, the hostess sees on the screen that her computer is infected with a virus, and to save the data, it is necessary to urgently call the specified number. The phone is picked up by Mickey, a fake security officer who is a professional crook at the head of a whole corporation of the same. Mickey intimidates Mrs. Parker, tells her that her data will disappear without a trace, and that she must install a new version of antivirus to prevent this from happening. The woman's ignorance allows Mickey to convince her to go to the address and personally download the virus from there. So the scammers gain access to the personal information of Mrs. Parker, a retired teacher, but even so, she has over $2 million in her account. In order to lure the victim out of such a sum, Mickey pretends to compensate the woman for the inconvenience, but he mistakenly transferred $50,000 instead of $500. He presses pity, convincing the woman to transfer the money back. After checking the balance, the victim enters the password, which is intercepted by the attackers. Immediately after that, the computer is shut down and the money is withdrawn to a fake account. Mrs. Parker realizes that she has become a victim of fraud, but nothing can be done. Adam Clay fills a jar with honey to treat landlady. He approaches the house, but no one answers the knock. Hearing the sound of the alarm, the man goes inside and disables it. Taking a knife from the kitchen, he goes into the next room, where a gun with an empty casing and bloodstains is lying on the floor. He's taken in the crosshairs by Verona Parker, the daughter of the landlady, and also an FBI agent. She arrests Adam, mistaking him for a thief, but after handcuffing him, she notices that his mother is in the chair and has put a bullet in her head. When the police arrive, Verona accuses him of murder, even though all he did was bring honey. Adam is taken away to the police station, and Verona looks around the house. She sees a laptop with an open page of an emptied account. In the morning, police return the man because no evidence of involvement in the murder is found. The woman goes to the barn to apologize for the accusations. Verona invites him for a drink. In the course of the conversation, it turns out that the crooks did not steal the mother's money, but the fund of the children's center she ran. Colleagues from the cybercrime department say that even if they manage to trace the fraudsters, it is unlikely that they will be able to prove their guilt. The lawyers will cover everything up. Adam goes to the apiary, where he retrieves a hidden satellite phone from the hive. He calls a former colleague to track down the crooks, but warns that the FBI specialists have not been able to find them. A co-worker says she will try her best and calls back after a while. Although the thieves are well encrypted, she recognizes their address. Grabbing 2 cans of gasoline, Adam heads to the office to teach the crooks a lesson. At the entrance, he's met by 2 guards who politely tell him to go back to the hole he came from. In response, the man beats them up, taking their weapons in the process. The guards lie unconscious on the floor, and Adam brings the canisters into the building. In the lobby, he asks the receptionist where the office is, and then tells her to pull the fire alarm because it's about to get hot. In the office, a man tells the crooks to stop stealing, showing on the first person they see what awaits those who disobey. To keep the crooks from returning to illegal activities, Adam pours gasoline all over the place. He is distracted by Mickey and his guards. The manager tells them to deal with the intruder, but the 4 guards are unable to stop Adam, and he quickly disposes of them. When the guards are done, he scares Mickey and sets a bomb on the canisters, which will react to the first call of the next victim. No sooner does Adam pull away than an explosion blows the office apart. The beekeeper, like a true professional, doesn't even look back at the explosion. Mickey reports the incident to his boss, Derek Danforth, head of the company of the same name. In order to figure out the bomber, Derek asks Wallace Westwild, head of security at Derek Enterprises, for help. He asks him not to be disturbed for nothing, and Derek tells Mickey to find the person who blew up the building by checking the company's recent business, in case there is a connection, and when he finds he'll quietly eliminate the target. Mickey and a squad of thugs arrive at the farm of Mrs. Parker, where they spot the stranger who set off the explosion, but realizing the scale of the tragedy, they shoot at the hives in the apiary, signing their death warrant. The thugs break into Adam's barn. As they wander among the racks, the owner grabs one thug and threatens him with a screwdriver. Deciding not to dirty his tool, the beekeeper strangles the mercenary with a chain. He breaks the second one's neck so gently that he doesn't even have time to say a word. The third bandit Adam hits, with the barrel ripped from his shotgun, and with a kick from his foot sends him into a shelving unit. Mickey opens fire at the noise, but misses. Adam cuts off his fingers with a saw and leaves him lying on the floor. In the morning, Verona is called by her partner to a crime scene to look at the blown-up office of phone scammers. Trailing off, they get a call about a fire at her mother's house, where Adam left several bodies. Thanks to the documents they find, the officers realize the two cases are connected. Mickey calls his boss from the drawbridge, but suddenly, Derek hears a stranger attacking his subordinate on the phone. He ties Mickey to a pickup truck, which he throws off the bridge. Then Adam takes the phone and warns Derek that he will be next and there is no hiding. Derek goes to see Westwild again, and he tells him that he resigned as CIA director at the personal request of Derek's mother to keep an eye on him, and he managed to incur the wrath of the Beekeeper, a representative of the country's most secret intelligence agency, which is not even reported to the CIA director. The Beekeeper is not some thug, but a professional Secret Service soldier who has been trained to do only one thing: kill. Westwild calls Jessica Danforth to discuss the situation that happened to her son. Using his connections, the former head of the CIA asks the current director to stop the Beekeeper, but it turns out that Adam Clay quit a long time ago. But despite this, one of the Beekeepers is sent to his soul. At a gas station, Adam's pickup truck is hit by a car driven by a girl, the current Beekeeper. She opens fire on a former co-worker and kills the police officers who arrive. Taking advantage of the hitch, Adam throws a hose over her, trying to strangle her. Realizing that she will not defeat the man in a fight, the girl takes out a stationary machine gun in the back of the truck, but gets a jar of honey on the head and loses consciousness. Adam throws a lighter, and the residual gasoline from the hose bursts into flames. While the girl burns alive, the man picks up the selected knife and cuts off her index finger, which he carefully puts into a bag. Borrowing a car from a random witness, he drives off again without turning around to watch the gas station go up in flames. He drives to the base of a murdered co-worker, using the severed finger as a key to restock his weapons and make a plan to attack the 9 Points office. A phone call informs Westwild that the target has not been eliminated and the problem has not been solved. Besides, the Beekeepers have refused to prevent a colleague from doing his duty. Westwild assembles a squad of mercenaries to guard the office. He explains that beekeepers obey no one. Their only purpose is to take care of the hive. If a uterus produces sickly offspring, the bees stage a riot to kill her. It is suspected that Adam has a similar goal. Following Adam on a hot trail, Verona finds a beekeeper's manual at a gas station. After analysing Adam's route, she and her partner realise that he is heading to Boston, to the office of 9 Points, from where they manage the centres of phone scammers. The agents are invited to a meeting with FBI Deputy Director Prigg. Verona shares his thoughts and asks for a SWAT team to be issued for the arrest. Prigg does not share the version about a secret service of beekeepers, but allocates a SWAT team. Near the 9 Points building, the SWAT team encounters the mercenaries, who have orders to keep the defence inside while the FBI is on duty outside. Having distributed their duties, the soldiers disperse, but then Adam brazenly appears. He politely asks the SWAT team to get out of his way, but being refused, he is forced to beat up the entire SWAT team. Having taken a hostage, Adam goes into the building. At this time, the manager of the crooks calls Derek to call off the mercenaries who are in the way of ripping off ordinary citizens. Having received the order, the mercenaries leave to the joyful clapping of the crooks, among whom Adam is among them. The Beekeeper offers the crooks to leave the building without too much noise, but then the mercenaries return and organise a firefight. Adam hides in the corridors of the business centre like an xenomorph, hiding on the ceiling and staging surprise attacks from above. After setting off the fire alarm, he attacks the mercenary commander, who shoots his entire squad out of surprise. Adam then beats him up, finishing the beating by hitting him with a fire extinguisher. At this time, an FBI SWAT team bursts into the building. Adam sets up a trap made of stretched cables. He manages to hide on the roof of the elevator as the SWAT team rushes in. The soldiers open fire, but do not hit Adam. When they run out of ammunition, the beekeeper blows up the elevator cable and the elevator falls down, taking the soldiers with it. Those who manage to escape are dragged away by the cables that were stretched earlier. After dealing with the SWAT team, Adam finds the office manager to find out who is behind the crooks. After beating him to get him to talk, the man learns Derek Danforth's name and wants to leave, but Verona enters the office. She convinces the beekeeper to surrender, but he chooses to run away, beating her partner in the process. The staff learns who Beekeeper's next target is, and they don't like it. Upon learning that Adam has slipped away again, Westworld informs Jessica Danforth, who turns out to be the President of the United States. Verona informs Deputy Director Prigg that Danforth's campaign was sponsored by her company, which was taken over by her son, that is, with stolen money. In addition to using secret seer designs for the fraud, now the beekeeper goes to restore justice, targeting the defective queen of the hive. Told not to tell anyone about it, Prigg increases funding for the operation to catch the dangerous veteran. Derek goes to the presidential mansion, where a party is planned and the Secret Service is in charge of security. Verona and Shee's partner arrive there as well. In addition, Westworld hires mercenaries led by Lazarus, who once survived an encounter with a beekeeper, losing a leg in the process. The president is also brought in by helicopter, but Derek doesn't take the situation seriously, continuing to use drugs. While the guards check the trucks coming in, Adam sneaks into the compound through the sewers, disguised in a Secret Service uniform. Having got out of the sewer, he clings to the bottom of the truck. The beekeeper strangles the checking special forces and changes places with him, having put on a balaclava for camouflage. While the guards are distracted by the inspection, Adam stealthily minds the cars. Then he disguises himself in the bushes in a decent suit to pass as a guest. Undetected Adam walks around the mansion, tracking down targets. Verona notices Prigg talking to the president and suspects that he is in cahoots with her. Later, the deputy director, the president and her son gather in the office to discuss a pressing matter. Verona notices Adam among the guests and gives the command. In addition to the Secret Service, mercenaries join in the capture. The FBI pursues the beekeeper, confusing him with the other guests and not realizing that he is trapping them further and further from the house. Lazarus wants to kill Adam, barely catching up with him, but Verona prevents him. Waiting for the right moment, Adam activates the explosives. Taking advantage of the commotion, he wounds Lazarus again, shooting him in the jaw. He then fights his way into the house, killing anyone who gets in his way, and without touching those who don't get in his way. He also panics the guests by shooting into the air, then fights his way up the stairs through the SWAT team to do what he came to do. Lazarus attacks him in front of the office. The mercenary manages to get into a prolonged fight, despite his wounds, and even manages to wound the beekeeper with a knife. But the latter cleverly takes advantage, kicks out his prosthesis, then beats and kills him with a knife. Preparing to undermine the lock and restore justice, Adam ignores Westworld's words. When he blocks the path, the beekeeper simply breaks the old man's arm. Sitting in her office, the president hears the noise of fighting outside, realizing that the security is not enough. She proposes a new plan. It is necessary to confess everything to earn a chance for a pardon. But the spoiled son does not like this arrangement. He takes a revolver out of a drawer and shoots Prigg. Just then, there is an explosion. A beekeeper appears in puffs of smoke, and FBI agents run out of another door. Derek is holding his mother hostage, but that doesn't stop Adam. Glancing at the ocean outside the window, he turns to Verona, reminding her that legally, she won't be able to hold Derek accountable for Shee's mother's death. Adam fires one accurate shot directly into Derek's forehead, then he jumps out the window and runs away. Verona, calling out to him, holds him at gunpoint, but lowers the weapon in gratitude that he has avenged her mother. The Secret Service is in pursuit of the fugitive, but he has prepared himself by hiding a diving suit ahead of time. He gets in the water and swims out into the ocean, and that's the movie ends. What do you think about this movie? Write your thoughts about the movie in the comments. If you liked my short retelling, then put likes and subscribe to not miss new videos. See you soon.